Hi, my name is Rosie, and I wanted to share my journey and my medical story so I can maybe help somebody out there who's going through a similar situation, because it's definitely been a mystery and something that I think needs to be shared. Um, I've done a lot of research. I'm definitely a researcher, and it's been a mystery. I've been to probably 30 doctors. I've had a pacemaker implanted. I was 41, I believe. And it all has to do with coming to the realization through the research I've done that many doctors every doctor actually just shoved it away and said, oh, that's nonsense. I was about 40 years old. I started going through perimenopause, and I started feeling very nauseous, waking up in the middle of the night randomly. Sometimes I'd wake up and not know where I was at. I would have a odd dream, almost like a deja vu, very strong, intense feeling that I couldn't understand, and instant nausea. And again, it's just something you just really can't explain. And I was in the backyard trying to chill. I was very, very busy as a real estate agent, under a lot of stress. And I was actually doing yoga. And every time this has happened to me, it was once a month for probably about 2.5 years. I'd just wake up, throwing up, very, very confused, and in a strange state of mind of, it was very fearful. One day it happened during the day, and I was doing yoga in the backyard, trying to relax, meditating, and I felt the thing happen. It was like an episode, I call it. And I felt woozy, deja vu, very strong, uprising of the stomach, like I was going to throw up. And I thought, I immediately didn't even know whose backyard I was in. And I thought I better go get my husband. I don't remember getting up from the pool or from the ground to walk around my pool. My husband found me in the backyard by the sliding glass door with my head cracked open. I had passed out. So it took me to the ER, long story short. They wanted to send me home. This is the second time I'd gone to the ER for vomiting, but I had never passed out. So my husband talked him into me spending the night. I fell asleep again at the hospital, dozed off. As soon as I did that, I felt the deja vu nausea, and I went to press the nurse's button, but they were already running in with paddles and saying that the staff of nurses and doctors said my heart had stopped for 47 seconds. So immediately they called a electrophysiology heart doctor, who came in and said, I'm going to perform emergency pacemaker surgery. Called it bradycardia, did an echocardiogram, everything was perfect. They couldn't figure it out. Scratched their heads saying, oh, we don't know what this is, but it's basically bradycardia. I wanted to get down to the bottom of it because something didn't seem right. About 4 months later, I was getting a facial, dozed off, and I felt the episode. And I thought, oh boy, my pacemaker's not working. Went back to the heart doctor. Again, scratching his head, he called 2 other doctors. They said they'd never heard of this before. Didn't make any sense. Pacemaker's working perfectly. It's not your heart. Your pacemaker's not letting your heart go below 50 beats per minute. So it's got to be something else. From that point on, those episodes kind of faded away until about 2016, 17, and 18. I would just get bouts of nausea and vomiting out of nowhere. I went to the Mayo Clinic. I was thoroughly investigated through every kind of test they could possibly do through the Mayo Clinic. Couldn't find anything wrong with my stomach. Oh, maybe it's an internal migraine. We can't figure you out. It's autoimmune. We don't get it. Same old, same old. Then I started getting the deja vu again. I was on a trip and saw one of those 3D movies for Space Station, and I immediately started feeling the deja vu nausea thing again. Ended up throwing up for 2 or 3 days, but the deja vu didn't happen as strongly. It was more just nausea and vomiting. Yeah, that went away just suddenly, just overnight. Seemed to happen when I was under stress or just odd. Going backwards, I forgot to mention, every time I would have the deja vu waking up in the middle of the night every month, it was 1 to 2 days prior to my period. So it's definitely hormonal. After the nausea and vomiting ended in probably about 2019, I got the deja vu symptoms came back. And in 2023, I had 3 days in a row where I had the deja vu, which I looked up multiple times. They're called auras. And I went to the emergency room. I stayed one night. Barrow Institute, Dr. Braun actually talked to me and said, you hit the nail on the head when I actually said to her, I believe I have focal awareness, epileptic frontal lobe seizures. And she said, yes, I believe you do. So I'm waiting for the Barrow Institute study for the EMU, and just kind of wanted to share that with you because it is very different. It's very scary when you have that. I just had 3 or 4 in a row a couple days ago, and the study's coming up. So any of you out there that don't think anything related to your hormones, doctors need to look into this, and I think it's something we all need to stick up together and really fight for. So medical is continually moving and improving, but I remember bringing the documentation and a printout to my epileptophysiology doctor 12 years ago, showing him I believe it's hormones and I believe it's the onset of some type of epileptic seizure, and he literally laughed at me. So I think we all know we need to be our most strongest advocate, and research is really important, and I've done my research. So I hope this helps somebody out there to go see a neurologist if you're feeling any of these deja vu, strong, intense dreams that can be very emotional, very fearful. And I almost believe it happened to me as a child too. So I'll let you know how it goes. Thanks.